You're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. I'm Lucas. With me I have Black Chestnut.
Hello.
And Ricola.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about Microsoft acquiring Blizzard.
Slash Activision, slash King, slash a ton of other subsidiaries, I guess.
Like all the studios they also own as well. And don't forget about all the IPs they own.
Yes.
Which is
an ever-growing list.
Yeah, it's like literally got like a mountain of IPs, 90% of which are just random junk no one's ever heard of. You know.
And random stuff that we forgot that Activision Blizzard owned, which was Candy Crush.
Yeah, I forgot they acquired King a few years back.
Yeah.
Such an odd acquisition, but not.
They make a ton of money. Candy Crush is like that.
It's odd, but not bad.
That has more like billions.
It's not that odd when you factor in money.
Oh, money. And speaking of money, so Microsoft's paying how much?
$68.7 billion.
Yeah. So
for the entire.
Just called
even 69. They couldn't just round it up to 69 so they could have the funny number.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes to the stocks because each stock or each share rather is $95 even now, which I think is what Microsoft wanted.
Right.
Still,
but that's a whole another different conversation because that's stocks and stuff and shares.
Yeah,
but, it actually might not be a bad idea to buy some shares from Blizzard because it might go.
I'm not investing in Blizzard. They're probably volatile as hell.
Well,
that's true.
Didn't their shares go down after the controversy?
Everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure during that time period they dropped $60 per share.
Right.
Ooh.
So I imagine that would have been a decent time to buy, considering they're probably going back up with the Microsoft Activision.
Yeah, I believe when it was about a year ago. That whole thing was going down.
Of course, it's like you could have never predicted this. So
exactly, but a year ago when they were at peak performance, they were about $237, I believe, per share, and then they dropped to about $162 during that whole thing, and they dropped even lower. I think $150 is the lowest, and now since they got bought out for literally less than what they're worth as a company as a whole for $95 a share. So.
Right.
Actually, I'm trying to think. What was like Activision or Blizzard's like prime? Like, what was their like heavy hitter? Because Overwatch kind of wound down.
I mean, like if we're looking at like everything in the whole, Call of Duty as a franchise is like
it's
insanely high grossing. They sell
makes a ton of money.
Insane amounts. World of Warcraft, back in its heyday. Was
World of Warcraft still
massive. It's still fairly big, although it's been dying down a lot recently, especially recently. I
mean, it's nowhere near as much money, but you can't forget about Diablo and StarCraft.
True.
Those were very valid games back when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
2 had that remake that I don't think anyone bought.
No, but Diablo 3 was a big heavy hitter when it came out on Blizzard.
Oh yeah, all the Diablo games were. But a Diablo 2 remake just came out like a few months ago. Did anyone buy that?
I think a decent amount of people bought it.
Probably did all right. Still.
Yeah. Didn't they get Vicarious Visions to do it?
Did they? I didn't see who that was. I don't know. Vicarious Visions did a great job.
I remember that's what they did. Didn't Vicarious they also do Tony Hawk?
Yeah, they just did Tony Hawk. I was going to say that was a great remaster.
Mm-hmm.
See, like, I like all of like the subsidiaries of Activision Blizzard, like Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions are great.
Yeah, especially they're not Call of Duty studios,
I mean, I liked Raven, but they haven't done anything non-Call of Duty for the last 10 years, so
yeah.
You know what this means for Xbox Game Pass now, though? We're gonna be getting Overwatch, Call of Duty. We're gonna have a bunch of new games. So I mean, that might be.
I wonder if they would tie a World of Warcraft subscription into Game Pass. If they would do something like that. It was like it's like you sign up for Game Pass, you get it pays for your World of Warcraft subscription.
Yeah, that might bring back a lot of old time players that stopped playing because of that.
Yeah.
Because I've definitely talked to, not a lot, but I've definitely talked to a couple people who said they just didn't want to pay for the subscription anymore, Tale to World of Warcraft, because they had other games they wanted to play.
Yeah, go play Final Fantasy 14.
And if you tie it into like a Game Pass subscription where they're getting all those other games on top of World of Warcraft, could really draw back in the player base potentially.
Which, not for nothing, that Game Pass actually isn't bad.
Yeah,
they actually have a lot of
nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Microsoft is competing really, really hard right now. So Game Pass is a pretty good deal on paper when you just look at it. In reality, though, you take a step back, you look at it closer, you realize that you're investing your money in something that you're not actually making any real returns in, because you're effectively. It's the Game Pass subscription is, it's not that far off from the old Game Pass that was around in Blockbuster, It's not that far off from being like, hey, you get access to a ton of games that you can rent. You're just renting these games, so you're not owning them. So it doesn't really feel like
PlayStation Now.
I mean, yes, it's better than PlayStation Now. And PlayStation Now is just a bad service.
Yeah.
So it's not really a great comparison.
It's literally just the Blockbuster Game Pass, but you don't have to leave your home now.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than Blockbuster Game Pass, but granted, I still don't really feel like it's a great deal. Like I don't have Game Pass. I don't feel like it's a good deal. I would much rather buy my games, even if they're just bought digitally. I still would rather do that than sign up for Game Pass.
Yeah, there's just a lot of games that I play personally that I don't feel they're worth the price, but I do want to try them out or play them randomly.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't want to buy AAA games because they just don't feel like it because they never go on sale.
I mean, that's very valid. There's lots of valid reasons to want to have a Game Pass subscription, and it's not, at least currently, a bad service. My bigger concern is that it eventually will become a bad service because that's what
that's fair.
That's what Microsoft is kind of building up to. And then okay, say 5 years down the line, they raise the price of Game Pass, it cuts a lot of the third-party titles that Microsoft can't get a hold of anymore.
Oh yeah, think of it like
so
Netflix.
You lose access to a lot of the games you're playing, stuff like that.
Think of Netflix 10 years ago when they had twice the library and it was half the price and it was this is great, and then we had 1,000 other streaming services, so it's just annoying.
Then they lost rights to a bunch of actually decent shows. And then they upped their price. And now
that's probably inevitable for Game Pass as well.
Exactly. And especially when you think about it, so it's okay, you're spending, X amount on Game Pass for over 5 years. You decide, I'm just going to stick with Game Pass. I'm not going to buy any games. I'm just going to play what's on Game Pass. I'm not going to worry about it. And only occasionally buy games if I really, really want them and they're not on Game Pass. And then, 5 years go by, they up the price of Game Pass and you realize I can't really afford to warrant spending this on anymore because, maybe the economy's bad, you lose your job, something, X thing happens. And then you look at it and it's well, now I don't have Game Pass anymore and I don't own anything. So I can't play anything.
Yeah, that would be annoying, wouldn't it?
And now all you're stuck with is choosing between either playing TF2 or League of Legends.
Oh, no.
See, for me, where the value really is lost with that Game Pass is let's say you're in my shoes where you have a full-time job. You just don't have the time. You see all these games that are on it, but then I'm not having time to actually download randomly.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You have to play to make it money worth. Go do the math on that sometime.
I mean, one game can make it money worth. It's not that.
I suppose, it is that
just because the installment. But you got to remember, it's you're renting.
Yeah. You're
just getting
access
true of
to
all
it.
digital ownership. Steam on their user agreement says they could just take away your games whenever they want. I mean, it's not like it's gonna happen, but it could.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you could also just pirate all these games for free.
We gotta put a legal disclaimer in here.
Yeah, you could just commit crimes.
We don't condone that, but it is a possibility that could happen.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah, the true Game Pass.
Pirates Bay.
Piracy.
Yeah, the true Game Pass is Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
What's with Microsoft with all their acquisitions out of nowhere? Like, it's
Power move.
I guess.
And
They're not doing anything
nothing
with them. Like, they just bought Bethesda, and Bethesda is the same. Nothing's changed. Another release.
Well, that's not true at all, because Starfield's going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Oh.
Yep. And Elder Scrolls, 6 is very likely going to be an Xbox exclusive. And I would not be surprised at all if every Bethesda game going forward is going to be an Xbox exclusive, minus Skyrim, because it's already on every platform known to man, so there's no reason to stop now.
Yeah.
Outside of a few key titles, most things are probably going to be Xbox exclusives. That doesn't mean everything will be from these acquisitions, because, Xbox bought Minecraft, but they still put Minecraft on everything, They'd
be insane to not.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
It's one of those things where it's like X property is so popular that you're actually losing money by trying to keep it exclusive to sell your console,
Yeah. It's like with the Bethesda one, though, that feels like a down the line thing. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
It's like Elder Scrolls 6. It's like, how many years down the line now?
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to remember, Starfield's this year.
I don't even completely believe Starfield's this year almost.
I mean, it's possible it could get delayed, but it's scheduled for this year.
That's so coming out like next year or the year after.
Yeah. But a lot of these acquisitions kind of really do feel like a case of Microsoft going, well, if you can't beat them, buy them.
I guess.
I think this was also, you may not think it, but I have like a hunch. I think Blizzard, given all the shit that's happened recently, were trying to be bought out by a company like Microsoft.
That's true, because they were looking to sell.
Yeah. So like this is definitely just like match made in heaven coincidence for Microsoft.
Well, it wasn't really a coincidence as much as Activision Blizzard was kind of down on their luck. They were like, let's fucking jump ship. Get me out of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sure what the owners and whatnot and the board's heads were looking at. It was like, fuck this shit. Get me out of here.
I'm pretty sure Blizzard Activision lost close to $40 billion worth of value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, and Xbox was just like, yes.
They literally, they were like, clearance? Got it.
Yeah. They were looking at, Activision Blizzard, who were like down on their luck and being like, this is a perfect opportunity to snatch them up. Because all the bad PR that's surrounding them is all like internal company politics shit, more or less, And the second they get bought out by Microsoft, a lot of that stuff kind of evaporates from the public consciousness. Because now they're not really thinking about it that way, because it's like, oh, well, Xbox got him, so they're going to clean him up and whatnot, and all things end well. And while that's not actually really true, that's what a lot of people will look at it and think. And so a lot of that controversy will just go away.
Yeah, that's true. This will be the news cycle. Like, if you look up Activision, this is obviously the first result now.
Oh, yeah. So, Xbox doesn't really have, a lot to lose with this purchase.
Pretty much.
But they do have a lot to gain.
Yeah,
yeah.
The real question is,
they expect that with how much you're spending.
Will they manage to somehow make Overwatch 2 actually good this time?
Will they manage to make Overwatch 2 a real game that actually exists?
Yeah.
That game doesn't exist.
Are they going to revive Heroes of the Storm and add in Master Chief?
Oh, that'd be sick. I want to see Master Chief ride a horse.
Yeah.
That would be iconic.
What does this mean for the fates of all the IPs that they own, especially the more still popular ones that they don't utilize that as much, like Crash and Spyro?
Oh, honestly, if this just Microsoft just takes some of those companies out of the COD mines and just lets like Toys for Bob actually keep making Crash and Spyro games again.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if like, here's the thing. This acquisition is so massive. There is going to be a lot of internal casualties among the staff, especially considering all the turmoil that they've been going through the past year, from all the bad actors, doing evil within the company and the people covering up that evil. And then on top of that, all the victims of said evil, inside the company.
That was a great way to put it.
There's so much chaos going on, and now this is adding more chaos on top of that. So, a lot of the staff is likely to get lost. Fuck knows where. Some will get fired, some will get
shuffled to different internal studios. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows what the fate of any individual employee is for any
much
of the studios.
Less companies.
Oh yeah.
Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is like, this should be a dream job for people. But it's like going to work and making video games, but then they have to worry about all that stuff going on.
Yeah, the sad reality of AAA game development really is that for a lot of people it is a dream job, but the reality of it is that it's not. It's actually kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, because these companies are
really bad.
Crap.
And then they don't really get a lot of the support that they need for, say, unionization and like fair treatment and rights to good wages and stuff like that, because people look at it and be like, well, you have nothing to complain about, it's a dream job, I would kill to have your job.
It's like, no, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it becomes a lot harder because of that. And I think the thing that like bugs me the most about AAA studios when it comes to like wages and stuff is how a lot of studios back in the day used to give their employees like royalties per game. Like if your name was in the credits, you would get royalty credits, Yeah,
now it's treated as like a gig job.
Yeah.
Like once the game's done development, you have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and now they just never do that,
Yeah, it's they're treated as contractors legally, which is bullshit.
Yeah. Which a little off topic, but Riot recently announced in their like New Year's internal memo, whatever it was, that the CEO of Riot, like NA, I want to say, or just the head of the company, is going forward planning on giving employees stock options for like bonuses and whatnot, stuff like that.
Wow,
well, that's nice, actually.
Because basically they were commenting on how the controversies that Riot had internally, which weren't that far off from the ones that Activision Blizzard had, and they were like, it's like, we're really embarrassed by that. We really, really want to do right and make sure nothing like that ever happens again. They said stuff like that. Obviously actions speak a lot more louder than words, so we got to see if they actually,
that actually
plays by that, but that's one of the things they said they were going to do. It's just like, we're going to, up human resources and do the stock options as well.
Yeah,
which is that's actually a good option.
Yeah, it's good to hear that at least that they are commenting and saying that they're planning on doing it. Whether or not they actually do it, is another thing.
Actions speak louder than words at this point.
It's better than Activision's plan of saying that they're sorry and not even having a plan to do anything.
Exactly. It's better to say that you're going to actually do something than it is to say you're not going to do anything. Because if your words are we refuse to do shit, then that's even worse than lying about doing you know, like saying we're gonna do better and then not actually doing better. Just saying outright, we refuse to do better is like, that's even worse, you know?
Yeah, it's one thing to acknowledge your fuck up essentially, and there's another thing to actually do something about it. And
yeah,
that's looks like what Riot's trying to do is actually do something about it.
Hopefully they will.
At this point, wouldn't be surprised if every company has some fuck shit going on in the background.
The AAA game industry in general has been a mess since forever.
I mean, Microsoft, you know, has the same fucking issues. And I think it's like really telling because there was like, I want to say some kind of interview. I don't remember the specifics on it, but what's his face? I'm blanking on his name. You know, the Xbox guy, you know.
Phil Spencer?
Phil Spencer, yeah. He was doing an interview. I was talking about, this was like right before the Activision Blizzard buyout, like a week before.
Okay.
He was talking about, it's just like, yeah, we're not gonna like openly condemn Activision Blizzard on all the bad stuff they are because our hands aren't clean either. You know, he said that. So it's like, is like admitting that, you know, it's like, hey, we're not gonna be hypocrites here because we're like
smart.
Yeah, you know, we're just as bad as they are in reality.
I almost appreciate the honesty.
Yeah,
it's better than like at the Game Awards when they said we don't agree with game devs being treated like shit, and then they play a Quantic Dream trailer.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
That was their like their pass to play that trailer, or so they thought.
Yeah. Speaking of that Quantic Dream game, they just announced that that new Star Wars game that they're making is inspired by The Last of Us.
Oh no!
So oh no!
That sounds bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess. What else?
So overall thoughts. Was this a good move or a bad move for Microsoft?
Well,
for Microsoft, it's really a great move.
Yeah. For the industry as a whole, I would say it's a bad move. It's good for Microsoft and it's bad for everyone else. Is kind of how I feel about it.
Just because such a shit show that it doesn't even like really affect much. I feel like
like a lot of people are trying to spin this as like, well, no, it's a good thing because like they'll clean them up and now there won't be any, you know, sexual harassment and people stealing breast milk out of fucking fridges. That shit's still gonna fucking happen though. Like I really don't believe that like Microsoft is gonna really fix anything for the most part.
And you know, if they do, God bless them.
Yeah, but it's like even if they do, that still doesn't really.
To what extent?
Yeah, even if good things happen from this, that doesn't take away from the objectively bad things that we know will fucking happen from this, like Microsoft becoming more monopolistic in the gaming industry and just acquiring too much shit.
Yeah, they just got a ton of shit.
Like, because they just bought Bethesda and now they're buying Activision Blizzard. Like, that's two massive publishers that are multi-billion-dollar companies that have dozens of studios working under them.
Yeah,
and
pretty nutty.
Like, quite frankly, like they shouldn't be allowed to own this much crap. Like, they shouldn't be able to buy Activision Blizzard. You know, like I really feel like we need Teddy Roosevelt to rise from his grave and bust these fucking, you know, monopolies. It's getting out of hand. It's like actually getting scary.
It's pretty weird
because you know it's not going to stop here.
Oh yeah,
you know it's just like you know Microsoft's fucking gluttony will never be fucking satiated.
Take your bets. Who's next? What other Western studios are there they can buy?
I don't know. I mean, like I don't know if they can legally buy Japanese studios. I don't know.
They can't, as far as I know. Yeah. I don't think Japanese studios.
I know if they could.
Law, they can't sell to American companies.
Yeah.
Like I've heard the idiots saying like about them joking about them like buying Nintendo. I think they said they wanted to buy Nintendo back in the 2000s, and Nintendo laughed them out of the room.
Yeah. Like Nintendo would never sell. is the thing.
Yeah, Nintendo would probably go bankrupt before they sold. They're just a weird company.
Yeah, Nintendo is full of pride. They'll never sell.
Yeah. That, and they're doing the best they've done in decades.
So. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're literally the richest company in Japan right now.
I don't know if that's true, but they're doing
last time I checked, they were.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably doing better than Sony. So Sony's doing pretty crap aside from like PlayStation, and even that's not doing great. Either way. Yeah, I don't know who else Microsoft could buy up.
I mean, they could like Ubisoft or
that
aren't impossible.
You know? EA is like
like after this, there really is nothing. Yeah,
like 70 billion. That could buy like anything.
Exactly. Like you gotta really fathom just how much money Microsoft spent on this acquisition. You know, to put it in context, they bought Minecraft for $2 billion.
Yeah,
but like to put a single $1 billion into like context, $1 billion is $999 million.
Yeah,
plus another million.
That's like unfathomable.
Yeah, just $1 million is enough money to change someone's life forever.
Yeah, you know? It's like I can't comprehend.
If someone got $1 billion, they now are so powerful as an individual that they could like fundamentally change society as a whole. They have enough influence that they could do that.
Was it worth it, Microsoft, for StarCraft?
It was worth it just for Candy Crush.
Yeah, it's true.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if Candy Crush grossed probably half of that money.
Oh, Candy Crush is easily the highest grossing game out of like all the Activision Blizzard stuff. Like, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like
that's why King is listed under the big three of Activision. You know,
it's probably bigger than Activision and Blizzard in terms of money they have. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Only about 250 million.
I remember when Angry Birds was that
never
big?
Mind.
When that was the biggest mobile game?
Yeah.
What a different time.
Guys, Candy Crush is worth more than Minecraft.
Of course it is.
Because they have more monetization. That makes sense.
Yeah.
2.2 billion.
Minecraft has sold more, but you know,
Minecraft's probably
a
bigger brand. Minecraft, if you bring into merch, it's probably worth more actually.
Yeah.
Nope. 1.7 billion.
No, Minecraft was 2 billion. They spent on just a game alone on the right side, didn't they?
No.
Oh, I thought they did. I thought Microsoft bought it for 2.
They bought it for 2 billion.
Yeah.
As of September 23rd, 2022 or 21.
Not just the current value.
The precise number is 1.7 billion US
dollars.
Yeah,
but they bought Minecraft from Notch for $2 billion. That's why Notch is a billionaire.
I mean, was he not already a billionaire before that?
No, he was just some random Swedish dude who made a video game in his basement.
Oh, I know that, but Minecraft had already brought in some freaking money.
2.5
billion. But like he was already rich after Minecraft success, but he wasn't rich before Minecraft, you know.
Oh yeah, I know
it's that. It's like, you know, talk about J.K. Rowling. She wasn't rich before
I just wasn't
she made
sure
Harry
if his net worth was $1 billion before the buyout.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if he already had that much money or not.
I don't think he had $1 billion before the buyout.
Okay.
If he had $1 billion already, he wouldn't have bothered to sell it for $2 billion.
Yeah.
You know, he would have just kept the IP for himself.
That's his baby, if anything.
Yeah, because if he already made a single $1 billion,
he can make another $1 billion.
Yeah, it would like he wouldn't sell it for just $2 billion if it had already.
Yeah,
made
he just took that
sweet
$1 billion and then outbid who was it? Jay-Z on a house.
Yeah. Yeah, like keep in mind, Notch is currently living in the most expensive house in like what, Beverly Hills, isn't it?
Yeah. I believe he outbid Jay-Z, I think it was.
Yeah.
He just had to go one up him up.
Yeah.
Any more points we want to talk on for this?
I touched on I think most of them so far, but
yeah, it's more of a just
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what this really brings us in the oncoming
I still
future.
don't even know how the Bethesda one's like playing out because they haven't like nothing's changed yet. Like there hasn't been any major exclusives yet or anything. So
no, I already told you.
Well, Starfield's going to be happening, but it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter if it hasn't happened yet. The fact that it's going to be happening is already a big change because it was going to be a multiplat. It was going to be on everything. You know.
Okay.
It also means that Xbox owns Doom now.
Yes.
I mean, that was Bethesda, but But now they own Call of Duty, which is another thing. It's just like, how many Call of Duty games... How many more Call of Duty games do we have left before Microsoft decides that it's going to be an exclusive now? You know?
To be fair, I think that was already, like, Xbox fans are into Call... I think that was already, like, more leaning towards the Xbox crowd than the PlayStation crowd, to be fair.
Sure, but it was popular across the board.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They put Call of Duty on the DS at one time.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that.
And Vita.
Yeah.
I actually bought that and played it. It was
my god.
Yeah. I do kind of want to address a little bit more of the people being like, yeah, go Team Xbox, like the fanboys and shit, who are honestly like...
fanboys still a thing. They seem so quiet these days.
There's not as many. Most of them have grown up and turned into adults.
And are now PC Master Race people.
Are like still man children because, you know, the fanboying stuff is a very childish thing. Yeah, like I understand it if you're like 12. Yeah. I get that. But if you're fucking like 25 and you're still like on Twitter, like cheering on your favorite corporation and doing fanboy
people that
bullshit,
complain about PS4 games getting ports to PC are the worst people.
No, I'm gonna defend them on that one just because it devalues their PlayStation purchase.
But then it would be okay for Xbox people to say it then.
No, because like it's totally different with Xbox because Microsoft owns fucking Windows.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You know, it's not really the same thing. Because the thing is, the people who bought the PlayStation stuff, they bought it for those PlayStation exclusives. If they knew that it would always be also on PC, they wouldn't have bought that fucking PlayStation. You know, they would have just spent that money and put it towards a PC. So I get they're coming from, where they're like, well, what the fuck? You know, I kind of understand that, you know, mindset.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Like, you put it like that, it's fair.
You know, it's like, I don't 100% agree with them. You know, there's obviously the upside is that more people can play it. But those are the people who were smart of not buying a PlayStation because they didn't care, you know? So, I mean, like, I definitely kind of feel similar because I bought, like, a PS4 and then ended up playing, like, 3 fucking games on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because fucking PlayStation has no goddamn games. You know?
It'll always be true. It's a universal constant. The PS5 has no games.
Like, if Nintendo started porting all of their fucking exclusives to PC, you know, no one would fucking buy
I'd still play on the Switch, actually.
Well, the Switch still has value because it's portable, but other than that...
Exactly, that's Nintendo's secret. They're dumb gimmicks. They're great.
Yeah.
That's what Sony and Microsoft... We need some really dumb gimmick. We need to bring back the PlayStation Move.
Yeah. Yeah. But to actually finish my thought on the fanboyism and stuff, because, you know, I get it if it's from a child's point of view, because it's a very childish thing, and it's something that I totally understand, because the logic behind it really is that your parents can't afford to buy you fucking everything, you know?
Yeah.
And so you will convince yourself mentally that whatever the thing you got for your birthday or for Christmas, you know, is the best thing. And that the other guys, they don't have anything. You know, you got an Xbox for Christmas? Xbox has the best fucking games. The PlayStation has no good games. They're all shit. People who play on PlayStation are so sad because they have no games. And that's what they convince themselves in their mind to try and make up for the fact that they can't have everything, so they convince themselves that they have everything that they need.
Yeah.
And, I totally understand that, because when I was a kid, I would do that same thing. And it wasn't just for, consoles and stuff. It would also be for like anything I couldn't afford, like my family didn't have cable growing up. We just couldn't afford to spend the cable subscription. So I just convinced myself that, everything on Cartoon Network and like Disney Channel, it all sucks.
Yeah, compared to Arthur.
Exactly, It's just like SpongeBob. Who fucking needs SpongeBob? It's shit. Of course, now as an adult, I look back and be like, SpongeBob is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like as an adult that I can just do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm willing to try anything and can easily get through, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I think,
I can just be
fanboyism.
Like, yeah.
I think that's even less common among children now, just because exclusives are a bit less common these days in general and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't see as many like hardcore like fanboys as like you did like say like even like early like PS4 or Xbox One era.
Oh yeah, it has definitely died down a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
Yeah. Although the people who were like editing like Avengers Endgame with like all the Microsoft brands and shit.
God, no.
With like Thanos being God of War and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, that's so fucking cringe. It's just like, you didn't make any of that shit, you shitheads. You just bought it. It's like, it's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it.
No. Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, because it's like Xbox didn't even make any of that shit. They just bought it. And that's true for like everything. They didn't actually make Halo. They just bought the studio that was making it at the time. Like, has Xbox and like Microsoft ever made actually made their own original IP?
Minesweeper.
Okay, and maybe like Gears of War. I think that's it. Everything else they purchased. I don't know. I guess Forza. What's the story behind Forza?
No clue.
Whatever.
They do need to go hard on the IPs that Microsoft made. The Windows Entertainment Pack games. We need Minesweeper as their mascot, and the Ski Free with the Yeti that eats you. That game.
Yeah.
And Solitaire.
Yeah. I do kind of feel like that's always been one of Xbox's biggest weaknesses, is that their lack of making new IPs. Like, they just aren't really willing to make new IPs. And even nowadays, they're still not making new IPs. They're just buying studios and taking their IPs and shit.
Yeah. I guess... Yeah, it's never really been a focus. It's kind of interesting to think that even like back then it was never like even like early Xbox, it was more just highlighting third-party devs.
Yeah. Well, it's like Sony is all about making new IPs. A lot of times they'll throw away the old ones if they're not like doing enough, and they'll just be like, okay, new console, new IP.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, it's all about Jack now.
See ya, Jack.
It's all about the Drake
Dude Raider. It's about Dude Raider.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, Drake, time for you to take a step down. It's Joel's time to shine.
Beard Man.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, Joel, time to get murdered by a golf club.
Is that how he dies?
Yeah, he gets beaten to death by buff woman with a driver.
Oh no, Joel.
It spawned like the funniest fucking edit ever, where it was a mod for Grand Theft Auto 5 where they replaced the golf ball with the model of Joel.
Yeah, I think
Microsoft bought Rare.
Yeah, and then did fucking nothing with them. And that's another reason why I'm like really worried about this. And it's just like, well, all those underutilized IPs that Activision was sitting on that they never fucking used are still never gonna get fucking used.
Yeah.
which really sucks in a lot of ways.
Actually, no, they did things with Rare. It's just we don't talk about them because Rare just sucked like after the Microsoft acquisition.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think all the interesting staff left even before the acquisition. I think they just left like after Conquer. Like they were just kind of
I think
done.
they knew what was coming and they decided to jump ship.
Yeah.
Like I don't really think Star Fox Adventures being kind of mediocre was really their fault as much as it was just like weird development switching priorities halfway, and then it's just
that wasn't even originally a Star Fox game.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to. It was weird.
It was dinosaur.
Yeah,
game.
Planet. So
that was just weird. Early 2000s Rare. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like if I mean, yeah, but I feel like if Nintendo bought Rare, then things probably would have been fine. You know, I mean, Xbox is making a new Perfect Dark game. It's not being developed by Rare, but it's happening.
Yeah.
So at least they're using one of their IPs finally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like, when it comes to Rare's classic IPs, it's like they made a shitty Banjo game that no one liked. They made a remake of Conquer that most people don't like.
They did a Perfect
Dark, and then
Dark
they made a re-release
sequel,
of all of them, you know? And they did that Battletoads reboot that everybody hated.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Was that a reboot?
Sort of.
Huh. I can't remember it happening.
It was a new entry and no one liked it.
Battletoads. Does Rare still exist even?
I mean, they still exist. They made Sea of Thieves.
Oh, okay. I forgot there was that.
Sea of Thieves is pretty still popular too, so
Sea of Thieves ain't bad.
I mean, to be fair, Sea of Thieves is like the best thing Rare's done since like Conquer.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark, you know? And I know they're working on a new IP now.
Oh man.
Well. So who knows what Rare as a studio is up to.
Yeah, I don't know what
they could produce the next heavy hitter this year. Yeah. We never know.
I just hope that Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bobs get out of this.
Oh god, yeah.
And I hope that they also weren't part of the major Activision controversy, you know? Because that's another thing with that entire controversy. It's just like, I don't even know which parts of Activision were being really shitty or just a little shitty or weren't shitty at all. It's like, which studios were being bad, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, which ones were a part of it?
I feel like
I can't imagine that every single studio was being terrible.
Some of them are more separate. Like I know Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob were more separate from main Activision.
Yeah.
Until recently, I think they got more centralized. In the last year or two.
But for before they did like the Crash and Spyro remakes, you know, they were like the Skylanders team. You know, they had the yearly Skylanders releases, both Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions, where you know they were doing those back to back.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Which is another question. It's like, is Microsoft going to revive Skylanders?
Oh, man, it's back. You know, I hope Microsoft has the foresight to kind of let some of these devs actually work on games that aren't COD.
Yeah. Like, I understand dedicating 2 studios to it, but you don't need 4.
Yeah. Hell, not even 2. Can we please just get Raven off of COD? Raven can make really good shooters. But they've been stuck with COD for the last decade.
I mean, like, they're not going to stop the yearly releases.
They are, yeah.
Despite the fact that they could just make one unified Call of Duty game and then just do a live service model for it.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Well, they kind of did with, like, Warzone, which is still getting support, you know, for the most part. But it is very weird.
It's people pay $60 every year. I guess that just adds up. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they did. That's what they did with Overwatch, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get doing the yearly releases for COD because people buy them every year because they treat them like, you know, the sports games, which get released every year, you know.
Yeah. It would be too much of a shakeup to not do that. I'm still shocked Assassin's Creed took like a year off.
Yeah. It needed it.
It did. I don't even like... think the new Assassin's Creed games are great, but they're better than where they were before the break.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valhalla was definitely really good. I'm still playing that right now.
Yeah, like what was the last game before the break? Was it Unity? I think it might have been.
No. It was
It was a London one.
Odyssey.
No, Odyssey was after the break.
What are you talking about before the break? Unity, yes.
Yeah. I was trying to remember.
And then right after the break,
Unity was like
Odyssey.
A shit show.
Yeah, Unity was a shit show. But then they came out with Odyssey, really good. Then Valhalla, and like I said a few minutes ago, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Unity was such a clusterfuck. Holy shit!
It sucks because a French Revolution game would have been so cool.
Yeah. It still boggles my mind that the thing people complained about with Unity, like initially, that got most of the conversation around it, was the fact that they didn't have female playable characters for like the tacked on, slapped together multiplayer mode, despite the fact that the game was super fucking buggy and obviously rushed and unfinished on release. Everybody just talked about that, and there was a whole fucking stupid controversy about that, as opposed to the fact that people didn't talk about the fact that the game was just not done. You know,
I think what happened was like 2 people complained about it, and then those complaints got news stories about it, and then that spiraled.
Exactly.
See, it's like no one was complaining about it. It was like 1 or 2 people complaining, but then it was the people complaining about the complaining, and then it's just like an endless cycle.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what happened, and it's what pisses me off is that people ended up talking about that, which was a fucking stupid conversation to have, as opposed to the fact that people not talking about the fact that the game was unfinished. You know?
Yeah.
Which is like, of course they didn't have like female playable characters for the shitty multiplayer mode. The game was literally unfucking done. So of course they didn't allocate resources to that.
Remember the bug where one of like the NPCs just didn't have a face?
Yeah.
He just had like eyeballs. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
That game was.
And then didn't they literally refund everybody who bought the game?
I know they had to do refunds, because it was just unplayable.
And what's more annoying is that it kind of feels like that was the thing that Ubisoft like actually heard and took note of, because every game following that has had a playable female option, which is like that's not bad, but it's like, you know.
To be fair, they also have gotten like heavier in like the RPG elements and stuff too, so it makes sense because like I think like character customization is more of a focus now. It's not like previous games where it's like you're Ezio and you're that guy.
It feels so weird to me.
That was a weird
that what they should have taken from that is that, hey, instead of rushing your game out, how about don't try to make this a yearly fucking release. Take your fucking time on it. Have a higher budget. Have longer dev cycles.
A little bit.
They took a little bit, but the lesson they seemed to take more was just put a girl in there, and that will fix everything. Doesn't matter if the team is crunching. Doesn't matter that the games are rushed. Doesn't matter that they're like yearly releases that should get more time devoted to them. Just put a girl in there, and there's no problems. All the real problems go away.
The AAA game industry just sucks. That's the big takeaway to this whole.
And it's like I'm not complaining that there's the female character option. That's fine. You know,
yeah, of course,
totally fine. It's just like, you know, it's like I'd rather they not rush the game and crunch and shit. I'd rather the developers didn't have to fucking crunch to finish this goddamn game. You know?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a polished game and wait for it instead of a half-assed game and waste my money on it.
I'd rather the developers not have to break their fucking backs to put out some stupid shit. You know?
That's the takeaway
That's how I
of
feel
all this.
It, you know?
Game industry is bullshit. Fuck all this shit. Go play some indies.
Yeah, do that.
Or play indies and games and buy games like they came out like 10 years ago for $5, so they won't make that. So AAA companies won't make money off of you. So there you go. It's great.
Yeah, go play some Toho.
Oh yeah, go play some Toho. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can go for some Toho right now.
on that note, I think we should wrap up this because.
You don't have anything left to say?
No, I'm pretty Microsoft, Activision, Blizzarded out.
Yeah. Although, one last thing. I wonder what this is going to mean for, say, Blizzard's RTS IPs, like StarCraft and, you know, Warcraft. Because they haven't been treated very well recently. all things considered.
True.
I wonder if there's any hope for them now,
You
or
know,
if they'll get even worse treatment.
There was that Xbox exclusive Halo RTS, so I don't know if it's
Halo
totally
Wars.
improbable.
Yeah.
It was Halo Wars, yeah.
Although I do wonder,
it's more just been dormant, if anything.
I wonder if part of the reason they decided to buy, I wonder if Xbox will plan on enlarging like the Blizzard's launcher, you know, on PC, and trying to make that more of a thing.
It is kind of a bland launcher.
And if they merge, if I never had to install Battle.net and they would just merge it with something else, that would be great. But also the Windows Store, I hate even more.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking is like, what if they turn Battle.net into like the Xbox Plus like launcher, you know, where it's like it has all the Xbox shit, not just Blizzard, Activision, Bethesda, all the Xbox shit. What
just
if they
get rid
do
of the
that?
Bethesda launcher and Battle.net and merge them into one? I'd be fine with that.
But yeah, this is like do that to try and say compete against Steam and Epic Game Store and whatnot.
They have enough games
to try and push
feasible.
Their PC stuff. They have Windows, so they have a huge advantage over it, which is why Valve has been trying to push Linux so much.
Steam is only so popular because the Windows Store is the worst thing on the planet. I hate that.
I mean, it's true. I mean, Steam's popular because they got in early and then made sure to stay ahead.
They got in early and games for Windows sucked.
Yeah. They got in early, did it right, and then made sure to stay ahead of everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And once you get a monopoly, it's easy to stay ahead because you weed out the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's GOG, who just is good because they just fill a nice little niche so they can just still exist without having to try and compete with Steam.
Yeah. Yeah. This acquisition in a lot of ways does worry me and scare me.
Yeah.
For what it will mean for the overall marketplace.
Yeah, it's just noises.
All right.
That's the ending note. Just noises. That noise.
Words. Outro. Goodbye.
Words. We made them up, man.
Yeah. Any last words you guys want to say?
I think we've said all we had to say.
Yeah. Fuck Xbox for making me have to pay to play online.
That's fair. Very fair.
All right.
Thank you for inspiring your competitors to stoop to your level.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You gotta go back to... Yeah. Right. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up in a taco and put it in the microwave.
Yum.
But thank you for anybody who listened to this on YouTube. Make sure you go check out our Twitch. We go live every Sunday or Monday, depending on what's going on in our personal life.
Yeah.
But make sure to go check out our Twitter and our TikTok. We also post clips on there.
And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. It means a lot. It helps support the channel a ton. We would greatly appreciate it. We really would love if you did that.
And everyone have a great night.
Good night.